Good morning. Does anyone else do like a quick tidy in the morning? Like get their desk all nice and neat and like ready to stitch. That's always me, like in the 5 minutes before the video turns on. I'm always like, oh my gosh, I didn't tidy up any of this stuff. So today is Friday, which means that we've made it an entire week. We have 2 weeks left of the Stitchalong. Only 10 days, but 2 actual weeks, if that makes sense. Good morning. So today what we're going to do is we're going to do some little tiny simple things, okay? Because we have all of these leaves. And I've already shown you how to do them, but I don't want you to feel pressure to get them all done at the weekend, okay? So we're going to do a stitch that we've already learned, which is a detached chain stitch, but it's going to look different to this. And I'm going to show you how to make the flowers. So just these 2 flowers right here. And we're going to use color 1036. It's the only blue that we have in our color palette. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And we're also going to use the darkest green, which is 683. I can't read my writing. Let me just check. Yeah, 683. So the blue and then the very, very, very darkest green. And the green, we're going to do, hello. So glad to finally make it to one of those lives. How fun. Welcome, welcome. So we're going to use the same stitch, the blue for these 2 little flowers down here at the bottom. And then we're going to use the darkest green for this guy, and this guy. Okay. So we're stitching 5 things in total, 2 flowers, 3 fronds, I suppose you can call it. So let's get out the blue first, and we'll do the lazy daisies or the detached chain stitches for the flowers. And I'm going to use, I think I might do all 6 for the big one and then 4 for the small one. And then you can see how they will look a little bit different. And then obviously if you want to fill it in with something else, you can. But for this one, we're going to try and make our 2 stitches that we do first right next to each other so that they're nice and pointy towards the middle, and then they have a nice curve on the end. Yeah, let's get started. It should be fun. It should be lots of fun. Again, all 6 strands for the big one, the bigger flower here. And then we'll try 4 for the smaller one. Now you don't have to use blue. You can use any color that you want to. I just saw that the blue made it brought a little something to it, you know? So if you like any of the other colors, you can use the same pink or the red if you want to kind of throw it down here a little bit to, like, you know, mix and match. I don't know why this is not. There we go. There we go. Got a little knot there. We'll zoom it in. And we already know this stitch. We've already done it before. We did it on the very first day. But for this one, like I said, we're going to come up here at the bottom like this, and we're going to do our loop and come right back down. Now the first one's always a little tricky because you don't want to go through the knot, which happens to me all of the time. But you just want to go kind of right next to it, or even through the same hole if you want to. Doesn't really matter. You just want to kind of avoid that knot. So if you can, you know, get it quite close. Leave that loop like that, okay? And what I like to do is come up kind of on the inside of the line. So if you notice, I'm not really on the line. I'm just kind of on the inside of the loop of the one that I drew. Okay? And you just give it a slight tug like that. So notice how this one is pointy at the bottom, whereas the other ones were more open. So if you need a refresher, they look like this, and they're more open at the bottom. Yeah? There we go. So we did one. Hi, Anne. I don't know if she's still here or not. And Kate, hello, guys. And then you just continue. So if you find that your lazy daisies or detached chain stitches are getting really pointy at the top as well, it just means that you're being a bit too aggressive when you pull that through. Because sometimes I can get a bit carried away with pulling, especially this part here. You know, and if you pull too tight, you're actually going to cinch your fabric together and make it pucker like that too. So not only are you going to have a lazy daisy that's like boom, straight up, and then the tacking stitch, and then boom, straight down. But then also your fabric can get manipulated as well, and you really don't want to see that. Now, if that does happen, just take out the stitch and pull your fabric tighter. That's it. So some people are like, oh no, I've done it. What do I do now? I have to like start over. Like, just take out the one stitch and sort your fabric out and you're good to go. So, yeah. Happy days. So if you notice, the lazy daisies like this, when you make a flower, you can see the fabric through it. So if that's not something that you like, meaning if you think, well, that looks a bit hollow, like it doesn't look like a real flower because you can see through to the back, then of course you can fill it in, and you can fill it in the exact same way that we did on day one if you'd like, or meaning using a different color, the same technique, just nice straight stitches, but you can do a different color if you want, or you can just use the same blue color and it will just fill in those spots. That's it. I might just keep the same 6 strands for the smaller one too, because I kind of like how chunky this is looking. But feel free to experiment with different strands. Different strands will give you different thicknesses and a different look. And you can even tell, for example, here and here. So we used all 6 here, and you can see it's like a little bit more like textural, a little bit like off the fabric a little bit more, where 3 strands is like completely flat. I don't know if you can tell it so much, but I can see it really clearly, like in person. So yeah, I think a lot of embroideries, you need to find what you like. You need to find what makes you happy, you know, or like my grandma always used to say, what turns you on? When I was little, I used to laugh so much because I was like, oh, she said turned on. Oh, that's so cheeky. But I totally understand what she means, you know? Whatever gets you going a little bit. And you think, oh yeah, that's good. Don't be dirty, guys. Now again, we're back where we started. So you need to be careful, because if you go down through the same knot as we started with, what's going to happen is you're going to pull that stitch straight through, and you're going to end up with a straight stitch there. So like I was saying earlier, up, straight up, and straight down. So when you pull it through, make sure you don't go through the knot on this very final one. Is this the cutest lazy daisy ever? I feel like it is. Mel is laughing. Yeah, I didn't know I was such a comedian. Okay, so let's do the smaller one. I'm just going to keep the same 6 strands because then we can move on to something else. But then you can see it a little bit smaller too, and you can see how it looks. Again, all 6 strands, just a smaller flower. So we'll do both of these. And I think we'll do like 4 strands on the other ones maybe. I like to experiment with the different strands because I feel like when people first start out, they're like, I don't know what's the right thing to do. And I don't know, how do you choose? And like, how do you pick? And the easiest way to pick is to just use different strands, which is not helpful when you just want an answer. When you want someone to be like, just tell me how many you use. And I'll just use that for everything. But yeah, some people love 6 strands for everything, texture all day, and other people are like, no, I want it flat to the fabric. I want it smooth. I want it silky and satiny. I don't want to see any like humped up, raised up threads. So just experiment, you know? Try 4 strands for this small one and see if you like it. I'm doing all 6 so you can see what that looks like. And then maybe I'll do like 4 or 3 for the other one. Gotta keep these small because I didn't do my leaves yesterday. Naughty. I had a bit of a problem yesterday. But I'm not gonna go into it. But yeah, I was going to stitch in the evening, and then I was like, oh, do you know what? I'm going to go lay these tiles. And then I couldn't figure out which way to lay them. And then I was like, never mind. I'm not doing that. And then I found a different problem. And then I was like, never mind. I'm just going to go to bed. Do you guys ever do that? Like I tried to do nothing all day. That's what I tried to do. I tried to just watch TV, relax. And by about 4:30, I was like, I hate this. This is not fun. Like I didn't even stitch. I did nothing. I tried to do nothing. And I can't do it. I'm not cut out for that, guys. I can't do it. Okay, so this is what we've got here. Just these 2 little baby flowers. Yeah, I said it before. If you want them filled in, fill them in. If you don't want them filled in, leave them. If you want them all blue, but you just don't want to see that fabric there, do the same color thread and fill that in. You could also do other colors. So you can use like the squash color and fill it in like that. I mean the petals, not the middle. You could choose a different color. Like we're going to use this purple for the grapes, and you could put that just in the middle as like a little oomph, you know, or one of the reds / pinks that we used earlier. Like the possibilities are endless. Endless, I tell you. Okay, let's snip this off, and then we're going to go get that nice dark green color. It's the darkest green that we have in our color palette. And I said earlier, but more people have joined, but we're going to do this one here. We're going to do this one here. They all look the same, so they're easy to spot, okay? And then this one here with the dark green. And then obviously, you've got some options. Because I can't just tell you what to do. And it is quite a dark color, so you might not be able to see every single stitch. So I apologize in advance if that's the case. But since we already know how to do the stitches, because we've learned them on day 1, and then kind of a different way to do them today, it should be easy peasy for you. Okay, let's try. I'm going to try 4. My heart is saying just do 3, but I'm going to try 4. And save that, because you can actually use it later. Okay. I was packing all the advent calendar stuff at the weekend with my mother-in-law. I think I've already told you guys this, but I say okay a lot. Like when I'm done with something, or if I want to like jazz myself up, or I want like next step, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay. And she says, right. So she'll be like, right, let's do the next thing. But I find myself now every time that I'm like, okay, let's do it. Okay, I'm ready. I just do a little chuckle because I'm like, oh, Jesus. All right. So we're going to do here. Now, we already know how to do the detached chain stitches, and that's these little guys that are like little teardrops or raindrops here. But for the stem part, you kind of have like your pick, all right? Now, one thing that I like to do for these is super simple, is an easy peasy backstitch. And it sounds like, oh, another backstitch. But the way I like to do it is to do one stitch between every group of lazy daisies. So we've got one stitch here, and then here, and then to the next point, kind of where they go to a point like that, you know, then you do the next one. Okay, if you don't like how that looks, I'll do one like that. I'll do one a different way. And then I'll do another one, because there's 3 altogether. I literally just counted. You can do the other one with stem stitch, because stem stitch is a really good one too. And it makes it look a little bit twisty, but not so much where you're like, huh, that looks like that. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'll do one of both. And Nem says, were you packing the advent calendars today? Okay, right. No, this was like 2 weekends ago. But goodness, I feel like I say it all the time. So for the first stitch, we're going to go all the way. Remember, it's 4 strands. You couldn't see that, but 4 strands. And you can do it a couple different ways. You can do it all of the lazy daisies first, and then go back through, you know, and do all of the middle parts, the back stitches. Or you can do them all at the same time. I would be a little bit cautious of making the dark green thread go everywhere. Okay? Oh, he meant together, not today. Yeah, she came over at the weekend, not last weekend, because I had them all packed by then, but like the weekend before, and I only had a couple more things to pack. And she said, I'll come help. I said, oh, that's so nice. So she did. And so, yeah, literally the entire day, we was just, okay, right, okay, right. I was like, it did make us laugh, though, because I was like, I always say okay, and then you always say right, and then Veronica says that. I missed the comment. I read it, but I didn't read it out loud. But Veronica just said that she says right a lot as well, and now her dog Bandit has caught on and thinks that that meant that it's time for a walk. Is that what she said? Oh, as if we're going somewhere. He's probably like, yes, we're going to move. We're going to do stuff. I don't want to go through those threads. I just want to go to the end of it. Hi, George. Now, the smaller you make these, the more filled in they're going to look. Okay? So if you look at these other ones, sorry I'm late. You're not late. You must have been very busy. Happy Friday. I know. Actually, it's my birthday on Sunday. So I have to take down all of the birthday signs from last year and all of David's birthday signs from last year because they've been up for an entire year. And yeah. And then I don't know what I'm going to do. I did a bunch of Christmas designs earlier, but then I couldn't decide which ones to do. And then I thought, well, maybe I'll do like some one-off ornaments, meaning I'll just stitch a bunch. And then, you know, after I stitch a bunch, then it can be like a little ready-made ornament type situation. But I know a lot of people like to stitch their own ornaments too. So I did put a little poll up in my stories earlier this morning. Because sometimes I miss stitching a lot, you know? I miss stitching all the little ornaments, making different ones. like just making whatever I want to make, basically. Whereas when you do a pattern, you have to be a little bit more intentional because everybody, you're not just making it for yourself to make, but you're making it for like everyone. People have to follow the template. So always something to think about. Thanks, Mel. She said, happy early birthday. I'm not a huge fan of my birthday, I'm not going to lie. But I think next week I'll do the stick and stitch. All the past stick and stitches that you can buy will be on sale. Not on sale, just re-released. Maybe I'll do a little birthday sale or something. And all the past patterns of the month will be available. So I can work on that this weekend. Probably too much information, but the bump is getting too big. So I need to get some specific, for sale, not on sale. I need to get some specific like maternity bottoms because baby fox is getting too big, guys. Growing and growing. But yeah, I put my regular like yoga pants on the other day to walk to Little. And I was like, oh, these are tight. And it did make me laugh. You're allowed to have maternity needs, not TMI. Yay, maternity bottoms are the best thing. Oh, it's so much comfier when you do. Oh, see, I cannot wait. So I've had a couple people say H&M is really great for it. I actually might add one more on each side of here because it's looking a little bit like leggy. So obviously I didn't put, it's just one stitch here, but I feel like it needs another one. So I'm going to stick one here. And then I'll show you the stem stitch down the middle and you can see which one you like the best. Okay. Sorry, switching between my big belly and stitching. Just typical. Okay, so we've got that and I'll zoom out again. But yeah, a bunch of people said that H&M is like really great for maternity stuff because it's not too expensive. But their sizes are small, medium, large, extra large, or extra small, medium, large, extra large. And I'm like, well, I don't know. They like don't have any in the stores, of course, because why would they do that? So I don't know what to order. I went this morning and I was like, I don't know. Like I'm bigger than I was before, obviously, because growing, but then also, does that mean I still need a small or still need a medium? Like, what? H&M maternity over the month. Did you get like leggings or jeans or like, they have like a fitness, do you know what I mean? Like a fitness ones. Okay, I'm going to do all of the Lazy Daisies first on this one and then do the stem stitch down the middle. It gives a little different look, but I like to show you everything. Just show you all the things. By your usual size. Okay. Yeah, because like normally I'm like between a small and a medium. Ow! That was really bad. I don't even know where that went, but I'll find it later when I get blood. I've poked my finger. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Oh, R.I.P. That'll be fine. Yeah, normally I'm between a small and a medium. Because I got that booty, though. Okay, lots of things in the style do lovely maternity clothes. I didn't even think to check there, actually. Once you are in maternity jeans, you'll never want to go back. They are so comfy. Oh, good. I feel better about it now. I'll have to like measure and see what they're like small, medium, large. I hate it when they do small, medium, large. And then they say like, measure your hips and that's your usual size. I'm like, oh, but they don't have like small, medium, large. Skinny jeans. I got some new L recently, but have M from last time so I can measure and let you know. Oh, that would be really nice, actually. Oh, that's so kind. Because I thought maybe I'd just get one of each and then just return the things that I didn't want or something. I don't know. I wore those bad boys all the way through a long maternity leave and wanted to wear them after too. Do you know what? If it's comfy, it's comfy. Honestly. I know Marks and Spencer's they have these new trout. They're like, what are they called? Thanksgiving pants. I love that. They're called like the Everyday Collection or something. I'm looking in my pants. Hold on. Oh, I don't know actually. They're not on here. But yeah, they're 15 pounds and they're just like what you guys would call joggers here. And I just bought a size up and they have them in short, which is always a problem for me. Because I'm only 5'1". I found out at my last appointment that I have lost my ½ inch, so I'm not 5'1.5" anymore. I'm 5'1". Devastating blow. But yeah, they have short there. Nem says, slight change of subject. Sorry, don't be sorry. This is about embroidery. I just end up waffling on about all kinds of random stuff. Whilst I'm in here, whilst I'm stitching. You guys are probably like, oh gosh. Anyone order from Lovecrafts? I bought threads on Sunday and they've not even shipped, seemingly. That's weird. You know what? I would send them a message. Send them a message even just on Instagram and be like, hey, this is my order number. Just wondering what's the expected delivery. I haven't ordered from them myself because normally when I work with Anchor to do the free stitch-alongs, I can make them free because they're paying me with being transparent, you know? And part of that is that I get one of each color, or two of each color, sorry. So I actually haven't had to, what's happening here? Actually haven't had to order from them yet. Okay, let me just get a drink real quick because I feel a bump in my throat. I don't want to have to cough in front of the microphone. Okay, I used them and got them okay. We'll check my last order and tell you how long it took. Veronica, that would be really lovely if you could do that for them. Tash says, I've had many orders from them and they've always been fairly speedy. That's what I thought as well. Okay, so I've done all of the lazy daisies along the line here, and we're going to come back now and do the stem stitch down the middle. Now, I talked a little bit about the stem stitch in the squash, okay? And remember how I said that sometimes I like to overlap the first stitch and the second stitch and make them both start at the beginning. This is kind of what I mean. Hopefully you'll be able to see it, like I said, because it's dark thread. Sometimes you lose the actual details. So I'm just going to do my first stitch. And when I come up, I'm not going to go in between the two of them right in the middle, like I would normally do for stem stitch. I'm trying to be clear because it's a little bit confusing because you only do it for the first stitch. Okay, so I'm just going to go a little bit down so I don't get like any knots or anything like that. So you're still going to leave a loop and you're still going to do just a half stitch forward. Okay, so normally it would be from here to here and then the middle of this to kind of a half stitch. But for the first one, I like to do all the way. So you have a nice thick line all the way to the tip. And again. Again, I don't think you can see because it's a dark color. And it looks like I've got a little humped up stitch here at the beginning. I'll show you how to fix that too, because it's quite simple. So this is just like the stem stitch from before, just exactly the same. Wherever the hump is, so wherever the curve is going, you're going to put it on the top of that. Okay, so this one here, the curve's going the other way, slightly. You could probably get away with putting it on either side, but I would always err on whichever way the curve is going, more curvy, and put it on that side. So it's kind of curving like that, so the hump would go on this side. Okay, and then just the same as the beginning, I'm going to do a little half stitch here to make it filled all the way. So it's twisty all the way down. Okay, so let's do a knot on the back. Oh my God, that just reminded me when I first watched your videos and you were saying tip, and I was like, is she saying top weirdly? And I realized you meant the tip of the plant. Oh, do you know what? I feel like sometimes I get on here and I just speak a different language. Like, geez. Okay, so I've got a slight hump in my threads right here, and I just didn't pull it tightly on the very first one. So you can kind of see it's a bit flappy. So you go to the back, and you're just gonna pull up on those stitches. Now be careful which ones you pull up on, because you don't want the very top one to be, oops, let's move over here. You don't want the top one to be like boom, boom, like a straight, you know, up and down line. But if you've ever got loose stitches, you can always go back and kind of just slide your needle under and pull them up a little bit, and they'll be more flat on here. The alternate point of view from that is sometimes people want them to be raised up. And the other thing you can do is go to the top, slide your needle under, and just raise them up a little bit. So if they do get a little bit like boom, boom, straight up, straight down, then you can always go back and kind of fluff them up a little bit like that. If you like it like that. If you don't, then don't do it. You know? And kind of fluff it. So let's zoom out. Like I said, I don't think you're going to be able to see a huge difference because it's dark colored thread, but we've got one down here where we use the back stitch for the line, and then we've got one here where we use the stem stitch for the line. Obviously, you can use lots of different stitches for any kind of straight line. Some people don't do it like bit to bit to bit like I do, so I tend to go, like I said, over here where this pointy line is, because it makes it look like it's a nice straight line. I don't actually have anything. This is what happens when I clean my area. I do it every time. Ooh, here. A pudding thing. Sometimes it helps if I put a dark thing on. So it kind of gives the illusion that it's just one long stitch, but actually it's just down here like that. So they're actually little stitches, you know? Some people don't do that though. Some people will make as long a stitch as they can before it starts to curve and do maybe like 4 stitches in total. And then kind of call it a day. It just depends on what you like. How many times can I say that? In one stitch long. Okay, here we can do a no knot start if you want to. I'd probably won't have enough thread to finish. But I've taken the 2 strands, because before we had 6 strands, and I took 2 out, remember, to do 4 strands for this. Now, there's 2 ways you can do this. Some people will put their needle on 2 strands. So it's here, like that. And then these tails here, they'll put a knot so that the needle is enclosed in the loop, okay? I don't like doing it that way. I always have to be difficult. But I take all 4 strands and put it through the eye of the needle and do a loop at the end. No, do a knot at the end, okay? Or if you really want a no knot start, you can start your stitching so this is the last one that we're going to do. Do your little stitch. And when you flip it around, you're going to put your needle through that loop. So now you have no knot. It's just your thread is looped around. They do that in cross stitch a lot. But I tend to like putting the knots on there. Sometimes you can't really do a no knot start, as in the stitches, they just won't allow it. The way that the stitches are worked, it just makes it a bit faffy. But with back stitch, if you're going to do a long back stitch, so this is what I was talking about earlier, the long back stitch, instead of doing between every group of leaves, just do a really long one. Damn, I hope that they ship too. I'm sorry they're taking so long. I would definitely just send them a message and just be like, hey guys. Just checking in, you know? It can't hurt to check in. I don't want to move. Can I get away with it? I don't know. Very close though. Like that. Okay, and then these here, you'll just kind of poke out from the sides. So you can pick one way and do all of them one way, or you can mix and match. Try all the different ways. No, what's that? What are you doing? Don't mess it up now. It's the end. You know? Just be a little bit mindful where your threads go, because it is such dark thread. You will see it. You will see the thread on the front, unless you've got a really dark colored fabric. And in which case, just go bananas, you know? Doesn't really matter. Amelia says, it's so relaxing to watch you stitch. I really enjoy it. It's very relaxing to stitch. Which yesterday I was trying really hard not to do anything, but instead I just ended up making like a list of all the things I had to do. And was like, yeah, let's get going. Let's do it. And I was like, no, you gotta just chill. You're supposed to be chilling. You're supposed to be laying on the sofa and relaxing. That's what you're supposed to be doing. So instead, like I said, I just drew Christmas designs all day. So I've got a bunch. And that's why I'm like, I don't know if I want to do like ready-made ones. Like you go to the website and you pick which one you want, and there might be only like two of each one made. So you get like something quite original. Made by moi. Special. Hello, Stinky. You going outside? Are you going outside? She just got off the sofa and she's just standing there looking at me. She's like, I want all these pigeons to get off my fence. Don't know why, but all the pigeons hang out. Jessie Bussy. Her toenails finally almost healed. Finally. Poor girl. Wearing that stupid donut. She's getting all bent out of shape about the pigeons on the people who live behind us, the top of their shed. It must be warm or something because all the pigeons come and sit there and on the swing set. They've got 2 boys, I think. Come on. Don't. Oh no, I missed one. Make sure that you get all the threads. Nice burp. When you go through, make sure you get all the threads. Don't leave one out. Okay. So, there we go. I think it just kind of goes to show that you can have the same stitch and look a little bit different depending on how you use it. So it can be plants, it can be flowers, teardrops, raindrops, all kinds of stuff. So this is what we've got today. We literally just did 6 strands of, forgot the color already, 1036. It's the only blue. We did all 6 strands for that, for these 2 flowers. Again, if you would like to fill them in and make them not see-through, where you can see the fabric through the flower, you can do that. Or you can wait until the last day, which is normally details day. And then you can decide then. So yeah, it's completely up to you. Then we did 4 strands, Lazy Daisy over here. This one has a back stitch down the middle. This one has a stem stitch down the middle. And this one has a longer back stitch down the middle. Because if you remember, we went from point to point to point. Tiny little back stitches with this one. And this one I did like 3 real big ones. So there you go. That's it. Today, yeah, I've got a lot of stuff to do today. We'll see. But I've downloaded all of the videos. Instagram does not want me to download them. I don't know why, but I've done it. So they're all going to go on YouTube today. So they'll all be ready for you. All the videos from today. So we've got the prep video, day 1, day 2, 3, and 4, and 5 all together on the playlist. So that will be great. And yeah, and then it's the weekend. So I will not see you this weekend unless you just want to pop in and say hi. I'm always happy to have a chat. But there's no live videos on Saturdays and Sundays, okay? That's just a catch-up day. So if you want to do some stitching, if you want to hang with your family, if you want to put it away and not look at it for a couple days, it's completely up to you. There's no instruction, though. And then I'll see you again on Monday, the 18th, and we'll get started for the next week. So excited to keep stitching, and I just love seeing what you guys make. Like, I know I say it's the same colors, everyone's doing the same stitches, but it just like blows me away. I'm so proud of you guys. So make sure you're tagging me if you put it in your stories or on your grid, and tag Anchor Crafting, because they love to see what you guys have made. And use the hashtag the Barbie Fox SAL, Anchor Crafts, Anchor Crafting, Anchor Threads. So enjoy. All the pigeons have come and landed in the backyard, and Jessie's losing it. Oh my God, she's like, what? Get out. So enjoy your weekend, and I'll speak with you guys on Monday, all right?